Today we're doing two player props here over on PrizePicks. We got one Wnba and one MLB player prop here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, July 1st. Brand new month here on PrizePicks. Before I get started, you guys take a look in the description below. Hop into the Discord. $9.30 per month comes out to like 31 cents per day. I'm doing a promo right now for first-time members of the Discord. 20% off the first month comes out to like $5-6 for the full first 30 days. Again, that's where I post all the plays that I'm making on PrizePicks. Other cappers in there as well. Super positive community. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. Also, you guys follow me on Twitter at TuffPicks, at TuffPicks. On Twitter, you guys been posting daily plays on the day over there. I also have a link to my Twitter in the description below of this video. But yeah, let's get into it, you guys. Like I said, one Wnba, one MLB player prop. We got the for the first play is going to be Wnba prop. We got the Commissioner Cup final here, Minnesota, Indiana. And originally, I was going to make just like one video with two player props from this game, but with the Caitlin Clark being questionable, I'm just unsure kind of on the Indiana side of things. So again, I'm not wasting time. I'm just trying to get this video out here, but I do like one player from this game. It's going to be a fantasy score line. It's going to be Alana Smith over 26. I think this is too low for Alana Smith. Again, if you're in the Discord, you know I like to target Alana Smith here, but at 26.5, this is too low. It's been 28.5. It's been 29.5. It's been 27.5. We get it here at 26. Again, Minnesota is going to be fully healthy in this one. I think Griffin and Samuelson are out, but Alana Smith in a competitive game is going to see a floor of around 25-26 minutes of floor of that type of line here. We look over on Outlier. Again, there's a link in the description below. You can get a 7-day free trial, elite research betting tool that I do use every single day. This season, when playing 24 minutes, Alana Smith is over in 8 of 11 games, averaging 32.3 fantasy points. 32.3. Really, the only issue for Alana is foul trouble, right? When she gets into foul trouble, you know, because she is such an aggressive defensive player, she can get into foul trouble. But, I mean, you can see the hit rate on this line for Alana Smith when she plays 24-plus minutes, over in 8 of 11. Even if we look at last season, when she played 24 minutes, she's over in 24 of 35 games, averaging 30 fantasy points, right? Just further showing us that type of upside that she does have. But looking at 2025, like I said, over in 8 of 11, over in 2 of her last 2, with 24 minutes, 56 and 35.6 fantasy points. It is a strong matchup here. We look at the Indiana Fever. Since June 15th, which is over the last 6 games, they are allowing the most points in the paint in the WNBA. The most points in the paint, 38.3 points, opponent points in the paint per game. We look at the Minnesota Lynx, and of players that see significant minutes, right? Alana Smith sees the most minutes of these top players here. She does average the most percentage of her points in the paint. Obviously, Nafisa Collier is close behind her, but 49.4% of Alana Smith's points come in the paint. And again, Indiana Fever allowing the most points in the paint over the last 6 games in the WNBA. Also, a line that I like as well, the Indiana Fever opponents 2.8 blocks per game, which is the second most in the WNBA. Opponents second most blocks, and I believe probably like 5th most steals, but blocks here are crucial. Opponents have the second most blocks here against the Indiana Fever, and Alana Smith is second in the WNBA in blocks. Second, which again goes back to the fantasy score upside for Alana Smith. Again, just the other day, she had what did she have? She had like 6. She had 6 blocks the other day. 6 blocks. She pretty much is averaging around 2 blocks. I think that's what she is averaging actually. She's averaging 2.5 blocks per game. If she can get us 2, maybe even 3 blocks with maybe even a steal, because you can again see these steal plus blocks upside that she does have, this fantasy score line is way too low. I mean, for example, like if we look at the type of line she'll need, 27.2, 13.6, and 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, like that gives us 27.2. That's 1.2 fantasy points over this line. She doesn't need to have a huge scoring day as well. Like she can score 6 points and still get us 24.1 fantasy points, just again further proving that fantasy score upside with the steals plus blocks that she does have. Again, also over on Outlier, you can compare fantasy score lines for other players recently. Derek Hamby 31.9, Yeka 34.7, Brianna Stewart 39, Brianna Jones 34, Kiki 27.8. You can go down the list of players. Again, this is like you can see your forward centers, Azura Stevens 36.9 just the other day, who was a very comparable player to Alana Smith in my opinion. But yeah, nonetheless, Alana Smith, this is 500K is on the line for these players here as well. So I'm expecting a little bit more, shorter leash on the lineups, definitely shorter rotations in my opinion. RotoWire has Alana Smith projected for 30 minutes tonight. And again, if Caitlin Clark does play, it just helps this line even more in my opinion for keeping the game that much more competitive. So yeah, Alana Smith over 26 fantasy scores the first play. For MLB, I'm going to a pitcher fantasy score line. It's going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I think we took him last week in a YouTube video for fantasy score wise, and the game got rained out and he still cashed for us. Like, he only threw like 54 pitches. He literally was on pace for an absolute electric day. But obviously, Dodgers, White Sox, Dodgers at home. Dodgers are minus 339 favorites to win this game here. Obviously, the White Sox are not a good team. The Dodgers are the best team in baseball. Yoshinobu is in a really, really good spot, obviously, to get that win equity as well, which is another +6 fantasy points here. But yeah, Yoshinobu, we can see here, under 1.5 earned runs allowed. First of all, his earned runs allowed is at 1.5, which tells you, books are expecting him to pitch really well. But he's even favored under, minus 135 on BetMGM, minus 135 on ESPN Bet, minus 135 on Hard Rock Bet to go under 1.5 earned runs allowed. And if we look at Yoshinobu this season, when he goes under that 1.5, under that 1 earned runs allowed, he's over this line in let's see, under 1.5 earned run. 7 of 9 games when he goes under this line, and he can even obviously clear this fantasy score line when he goes over 2 earned runs allowed, which again further helps us with that upside. But it's a strong matchup, right? Since June 1st, versus right-handed pitchers on the road, the Chicago White Sox have the lowest OPS in baseball, the lowest WRC plus, and the third highest strikeout percentage in baseball versus right-handed pitchers on the road. So, I mean, when you take all that into consideration, right, we're talking about right-handed pitchers on the road, third highest strikeout percentage, but just the worst offense, right? 1.91 batting average, OPS, .540, WRC plus, 52. And even if we take away the on-the-road aspect of it, just versus right-handers, all right, the White Sox continue to be kind of a bottom feeder team, 22.3 strikeout percentage, second worst batting average, along with the worst OPS. So they're just not good versus righties, not good at offense in general. And Yoshinobu is just electric, right? We saw last week, and again, he should be really well rested. He only threw 56 pitches, finished with 39 fantasy points in a rainout just last week against Colorado. This game, or not a rain out, but a rain delay. Obviously, rain delay, starting pitcher comes out the game. He threw 56 pitches, had 6 strikeouts, gave up 1 hit. And so just tells me he's very well rested in this matchup, which, again, further just benefits his upside, I think, when we talk about, players and their ability to rack up fantasy points quickly. We look at fantasy scores, right-handed pitchers' fantasy score game logs versus the White Sox. Chris Bassett just had 40. Jose Barrios just had 48. Kumar Rocker, who just is, again, you could consider him not that great of a pitcher as in his young career. He had 39. Ryan Gusto, 43. Charlie Morton, 51. Dean Kremer, 46. Zach Eflin, 49. Pitcher's just been dominating, even if we, just take a look at a bunch of different things. Obviously, the White Sox lineup has not faced Yoshinobu as well. So, again, just helping us there with, the lack of familiarity. Nonetheless, I like this spot for him at 38.5. I think, you compare DeGrom's at 40.5 on PrizePicks as well. Paul Skeens at 37.5. Joe Ryan at 36. So, Yoshinobu in a great spot versus the worst offense in baseball versus right-hander. So, please drop a like. You guys hit the subscribe button. And as always, let's catch.